What's the cruelest secret a dream home can hide? After 5 years of cramped studio apartments in Chicago, Marcus and I pooled every saved paycheck to buy a 1920s Craftsman on Elmwood Street in Charleston. My grandmother, who raised me on Southern heirloom dinners and ghost stories, had always whispered I was destined for a house with history. When we first stepped through the front door, the sun slanted through leaded glass windows onto wide pine floors, and I felt as if we'd unlocked a treasure chest of memories I'd never lived. Marcus, working in digital marketing, and I, freelancing architecture articles, sketched renovation plans in the parlor that evening while heirloom oak trees serenaded us outside. First, everything fell into place. We replaced sagging porch boards, repointed the chimney, and hosted weekend barbecues under swaying moss. I even found an old brass key tucked behind the staircase, inscribed with a date far older than the house should have been. Marcus and I joked that it must open a hidden door to pirate loot. Yet in late December, I noticed Marcus growing withdrawn, slipping into the attic at odd hours, phone pressed to his ear, voiceless in the dark. I chalked it up to work stress until one evening I discovered a crisp deed bearing my grandfather's signature dated 1958, 6 years after he died. His name had been stamped back onto our title, and Marcus's was crossed out below mine. My heart thundered. Over mugs of hot cider on the porch, I demanded answers. Marcus confessed he'd lined up a job in Nashville and intended to quietly transfer the title into my name so I'd inherit alone. I felt his breath flick with guilt as I pictured the life he'd planned without telling me. Hurt flattened me. Had our love become a transaction? I banned him from our dream home for 3 days and dove into Charleston's public records. There I unearthed newspaper clippings connecting my great-grandfather to a Prohibition-era rum-running syndicate that used this house as a drop point. Tucked behind a loose brick, I discovered a leather satchel containing faded ledgers, receipts for illegal shipments dated 1928. When Marcus returned, I laid the ledgers and forged deed on our dining table. He confessed that his late uncle had confessed the family's secret years ago, and Marcus had been wrestling with whether to tell me or exploit the loophole to force my cooperation in Nashville. My head spun. Our relationship teetered between greed and protection. We agreed to confront his uncle together. That afternoon, beneath the oak canopy, we found him shuffling through yard debris. His face went pale as we waved the satchel. He collapsed into a chair and admitted he'd sold the house to us under false title to cover mounting debts, forging my grandfather's signature to hide the money trail. Armed with the uncle's own confession recorded on my phone, we marched to the courthouse and filed fraud charges. The judge froze in disbelief as the uncle pleaded guilty, and the original title was restored to us, free of hidden liens. In one spectacular afternoon, our dream home had nearly torn us apart, unearthing family sins and hidden betrayals. By fighting together, me with my grandmother's whispered histories, Marcus with his honest confession, we reclaimed the house and unexpectedly each other. Today, as I paint those wraparound porch rails the same soft blue my grandmother loved, and Marcus rebuilds the attic into our writing studio, I know this house didn't just shelter our dreams, it tested their foundation. And we passed with flying colors, stronger because we uncovered every secret it tried to bury.